and welcome to another episode of Motors for the Masses. And today it is episode 1 of our giveaway build.
And what are we calling the build?
Project Bob.
That's good to me.
Yes, those of you that are familiar with Blackadder will recognise the name Bob.
Funny name for a bike, isn't
It is, so this bike is going to be called Bob. Right, so what's the plan for today then, Malcolm?
Well, initially we were going to try and pop the carbs on and see if we could fire it up and make sure all is good. However, carbs said no. The diaphragms I think were out of another bike and they were salvaged to get something else running.
As you can see, they don't look very nice at all. So we need to get new ones of those.
But the carbs on the whole are very clean. So
Yes.
we're going to get some new sliders.
But it won't be running today, unfortunately.
No.
So the plan today is to start ripping stuff off. Now, that's going.
Yep.
That's going.
Yep.
That's going.
Yep.
That one at the front is going.
Yep.
And we're then going to look to see what we're going to do with this back end.
Yep.
So, let's get cracking.
Crack!
So the issue we have at the moment is we don't have all our tools here, so we're having to do manual stuff with manual tools. We don't have the zzz stuff over here, it's over the other side, being used by the mechanic.
I'm just trying to
Have
find...
you got there?
I don't know, it's just rubbish.
Yeah, it looks like-
Nothing fits.
No, it looks like something you've taken out of a, put a wardrobe together kind of affair.
The box seems to...
Yeah, these screws do look like they've been over tightened and...
Yeah, it's all looking a bit lacking in the tool department here.
Right, let's make action. Right, screwdriver.
Does it fit?
Yay!
Good result.
Action.
I quite like that little seat, I might keep that for something else.
Okay.
Unless it's broken. No, it's good.
Oh, they're in there quite tight.
I quite like this seat as well. Are we changing the seat on this, or are we going to put this one back?
I don't know actually, you want to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, we are doing a soft tail bobber, so we don't have to worry about putting spring seats on.
But we are modifying that rear arch, so...
Well, that's that done.
Yay. And then need a spanner for that bit. That looks like a 13. This ratchet sounds a bit unhappy.
Yeah.
Just a bit large for the application. There we go. Seat off.
Okay, seat off. Right, so I think these bars are going to have to come off, as are the shocks, to be able to get this and this whole bar arrangement off.
Yeah.
So, now, being a 2015 bike that wasn't really amazingly looked after, whoever gets this bike needs to make sure they look after it. Yes? Would you agree?
I do agree.
We still haven't come to an agreement on the colour yet. We've had lots of people suggesting colours on my Mondial,
We had lots of suggestions.
and we had lots of suggestions on this as well. We got 13mm spanner.
No.
No?
No.
Why is this?
Well, that's the one in this box.
I can just grip it with my fingers, but it's a bit tight. Cool. 13mm. It hasn't been looked after, like I say, it's been quite neglected really, poor thing. Considering it's only just 3 years old, less than 3 years old. Whoever had this didn't really care much about it. That's why we're going to make it good.
Find some clocks for it too.
We do. Well, So, yes, while Malcolm's doing that, let us know, again, colours, what colours you want, and what clock you think we should go for. Should we go for a traditional bobber style single clock, or the double clock arrangement? Let us know your thoughts on that. Oh, that's heavy. Ah, the wires and stuff in
a
it.
metal bracket inside it. Yeah, let's cut
Right,
that.
I'll make sure the colour goes. Nice green there, the indicators. I'm learning, look. That's, oh no, that green goes to the green and yellow. We don't want the same issues we had before. There's two green lines, that's a double green.
It's probably the ground.
Green and yellow, well you'll know that then. There's the rear lights.
We can pin it anyway because we're not taking all that off. So.
Okay, there we go. That's a heavy thing.
It's got a bracket in, hasn't it?
No, it's just one piece of metal.
I thought it was plastic.
No, that's metal and it's heavy. So it's so much lighter now.
Let's give it an extra
Two
quarter of a
miles an hour?
second. Well, extra quarter of a second to 30.
I know you didn't say 60 there.
No. We'll get to 60, won't you?
Yeah, of course it will. And beyond. Especially now. Half its weight's gone.
It's actually a really good basis to modify the back end of this, because once these are gone, they just bolt on. The end frame stops here.
Yeah.
So if we make a bracket to put the seat on, and then a couple of brackets on the underside there to support the rear guard.
The rear mudguard's only going to come to about here.
Probably stop like on the centre of the tyre.
Right.
And then we can
And then that's it.
organise lights. We'll do double lights like on your...
So this is a really easy frame to do a bobber build with.
Well, the sort of bobber we're doing with it, yeah, a super simple one.
Absolutely. Well, even a hardtail. Yeah, even a hardtail bobber.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can so much. You can just take these shocks off.
Yeah, just...
I mean, it's got a swing on, which makes it...
You just put another piece in, and then just put a spring-mounted seat on it.
And remove them rear pegs.
Would it look stupid with the shocks and a spring-mounted seat?
I personally wouldn't want it with both.
Let us know your thoughts on that if you can. Would you think it looks better with a normal mounted seat and just keep the spring shocks, or keep the spring shocks and springs on the seat, or will that just look stupid?
I don't know if there's a route we'd want to go down, but if you get rid of this airbox, I don't know whether you could get a monoshock set up off that bit there, up to the top.
Maybe.
We could possibly stick a monoshock in there. That'll make this look tidier without these.
Just put a bracket on the back there. You wouldn't have much room in the tyre to put the tyre though. It'd be a small monoshock.
No, because it would go off that bar across the swing arm. Which is quite a long way forward, and it would come up to here somewhere. We'd have
Okay,
to put a bit of,
get rid of these.
Yeah, and get some metal in there. That'd be a pretty tough.
Okay, so we've got more options. So basically, your thoughts please, because this is a build that we're going to be giving away, don't forget. So, do we, A, keep the shocks and put a static seat on? Or B, keep the shocks and put a spring-mounted seat on? Or C, ditch the shocks, a monoshock and a solid seat? Let us know your thoughts on that. Obviously, if we're doing that, we won't need these at all, so it'll just be a massive space there, because the monoshock will do the job of these two. So let us know your thoughts on that, please.
And potentially, we could lower it as well.
Yes.
Which is the usual bobber thing, so just drop it down a touch. Still have the seat on these bracket bits, no problem at all. We can put the guard wherever we want, but we could potentially lower it a spot.
Think about that. If it's lowered, you've got to think of we'd have to change possibly the angle of these foot plates.
Possibly, but the whole thing of a bobber is that you chop things about and lower it, I think, is my interpretation of it. If it was mine, I would probably, I mean, it is quite low, but I quite like it a bit lower. I mean, you could also drop the front forks a touch as well.
These foot plates do move, because obviously if you hit the ground with it, they ping up, which is good. But if it's low, your feet are naturally going to be angled like that and not flat.
I'm only talking a little lower. I'm not talking about sticking it right on the floor.
Okay, want it to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to consider anyway.
And the riding position will remain the same.
Yeah. For now,
Let's take these foot pegs off the back.
Yes.
Do not need those.
We're not going to need those at all. Okay. This is a really cheap ratchet.
Yeah, let's have some use.
Okay.
I think the engine we'll leave exactly as it is with black with these fins, and we'll just clean these fins up and make them shiny again.
Yeah,
they're
I
a
like
bit
that.
corroded. There's no, I mean it's pretty clean, so there's no point messing with it,
No.
and it looks nice.
So for now, let's just get this front mudguard off. So far as this is concerned, I'm not a fan of this silver look. Now this is standard, but it just looks like it's been painted and not very well. So what we're going to do is blacken the bars, blacken the stock as well. Obviously that, redo that. That's really pitted badly, isn't it? Mm. So we'll blacken that, we'll sort that out, treat that, blacken it. And then Malcolm had an idea of 2 small spotlights either side of this main light, but keeping the main light. I quite like that idea. What do you think? Right, ready to come off? It's off. So is the bracket.
Awesome.
That's a thin little tyre at the front there.
What is it, 90?
Yeah, I think we have to put, mind you, they do have small tyres on these bobbers, don't they?
Yeah.
Thin front tyres and chunky. I love the fact this has got twin discs. I think that's awesome on a 125.
That is pretty cool, isn't it?
Twin discs. Right, we've decided that this airbox is redundant. We're not going to need this because the airbox is not going to go back on. Because this carb has got a couple of ports on it, what we're going to do is put some nice filters on it. So we will do that once it's ready to go on. But for now, we're going to get rid of this airbox. The reason we're doing that is because then we can put a jack in here between the swing arm and here so we can get these shocks off. Because otherwise, if we take the shocks off, it's just going to go...
But wait now, because I'll put a jack under it.
Alright, it won't go... Yeah, but this will.
That won't.
Well, yeah, but you put a jack under the bike.
frame.
Yes, but this will still do that.
The swing arm will move up and down, maybe.
Yes. That's what I said.
Yeah, that doesn't matter though.
Oh my god. So we're just going to get the shocks off and take these silver bits off because they're redundant. This side undone. Yeah.
Undone did a bit, yeah.
Just need to be careful because obviously once we take that off, it's going to go...
Possibly, yeah. It shouldn't go anyway. Just put a jack under it.
Actually, that moves quite freely. That comes off really easily.
It's because I jacked it up.
Nowhere near as difficult as my 404.
No.
Which was a nightmare to get on and off.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Ah, what's that, a 22 or something?
Yeah, unfortunately the ratchet doesn't work on it.
You've got 22 spanner?
That's what we need.
No.
No.
We could do the way that Malcolm hates. Mole grips! To be fair, I can't stand using mole grips. Yeah, adjustable spanners and mole grips. You should never take off any nuts and bolts with adjustable spanners and mole grips.
No.
Simply because it rounds them off
And they're ruined for
and it's cheap and nasty. Buy a bloody spanner.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is just nip over the other side
And steal a spanner.
and take a spanner and take the 8mm back because we don't need it anymore.
Hello.
Is it tight?
Yes. I need a persuading tool. Ha 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 ha! Have it. I'll go the other way.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. I knew that. Yeah, left hand. Oh, this is weird. Hello, what's going on here? It's weird, isn't it? I've got to hold it with this and then...
Ambidextrous this is.
Yeah, just hold that on there, will you? Okay, here we go. Yeah. tight.
Yeah. It is one I did earlier. Well, it's still quite tight.
Did you hammer that one?
It is. It needed persuading with the very same hammer that you persuaded your side with.
Yeah. Oh, look at that, look! It's all naked and everything. That's quite a chunky back tyre, even though it's only a 130, because of the profile, it looks like a big, chunky, massive tyre.
Yeah. So get rid of those.
I wonder if we can get a 140 on there. Mind you, it's quite close to that chain guard.
Maybe without the chain guard it would, but I think I'd rather leave the plate chain guard on there. Right, do we want to put a washer in here, or are we just going to go ahead and just bang them straight back in?
No, just bung straight back on. Apologise for our non-Motors for the Masses attire today. We're wearing our official uniform.
Yeah, we're ARing today.
We are, but we're Motors for the Massing, which is the same thing basically, so
yeah,
whatever. Deal with it.
Yeah. We'll do what we like, live with it.
Please send complaints to the Carlsberg Complaints Department.
Yeah. Nice.
Hello, it's one of those spanners that's got bloody copper slip or aluminium slip on it.
It came from the workshop, so...
What?
Okay, so them shocks are hideous, I don't want to put them back on.
Yeah, I agree. I think a mono shock
Check this out.
will be awesome. Hello.
We're lowering the beast.
Yeah, that's low.
Oh yeah.
No, that's too low.
That's not perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
So, what do you think of that? That's awesome, isn't it? Oh no, couldn't you see? Aww.
So I'll move it. There we go.
Look at that, that is amazing. There you go, it's finished. Start up.
Yeah. I think that looks pretty good there. I do want to just pull the front down a touch.
Do you like, yeah, I think we twist the handlebars back a little bit.
It's clamped down, I don't want to move it because it's on a jack and clamped down. So we can do it on the floor, but we can't do it on there.
Yeah, no, I don't mean now. I mean,
Oh, see.
yeah, loving that. We do have to get some side panels.
Yeah, we'll see what we can find that looks good on there. 'Cause I'd rather not use the originals. Very much.
Airbox will disappear. And there you go.
Yeah.
So, that brings us to the end of this episode of Motors for the Masses.
We
Thank you
do
very much for joining
apologise
us.
for it being very short.
We said, why do you always interrupt me? What
Because
is
you
that
don't have
about?
a space for me to speak.
Because it's natural flow, that's why. It's a natural flow. But no, you insist on interrupting. Very rude, isn't it? Anyway, can I speak now?
Nope. No,
Go on
you're
then.
good. You're good.
No, you take over.
No, we're good.
Anyway, on the next build video, we'll be tackling this monoshock arrangement, getting rid of this, and we'll be sorting out the bars, and we'll be stripping others. Oh, no, we won't. We'll be getting the engine and carb rebuilt and getting it started with a bit of luck.
No.
No.
We'll probably spend the entire next video just doing that monoshock.
Right, I'll give up. You're on your own.
We'll tackle the rear suspension on the next video.
Shut up, right, Malcolm. Tell us what we're doing in the next episode of this build.
Why are you saying that in such a special way?
Special. Because, clearly, whatever I say is wrong.
Well, we can't list a huge long list of things and then come back next week and only
Get on with it then, what are we doing?
Next week we will tackle the rear suspension.
Next week.
Next episode, not next week. Next video of this build.
Did you get it wrong?
Yeah. In the next episode of the Bob build, we will be doing tackling the rear suspension and maybe getting rid of these lug things because they look pretty ugly too, but they only screw in, so that's easy. If we have time, then we'll have a look at the front forks and the handlebars. In the meantime, we are going to order the parts for the carburetor.
Yes.
And some filters, maybe a sprocket and chain, so we've got those here.
We will also work out what size monoshock we want in there.
Yeah. Well, we can work out, once this airbox is out of the way, so we'll take that off.
Yeah.
Once we've measured that, we can put a big chunk of something in there to weld it in properly and to support it off of.
Fantastic.
Probably come up to maybe here or something.
Yes.
We've got space.
So there you go.
I reckon it's going to look really nice.
It is, I can't wait. Don't forget your suggestions, please, for what colour you want and whether you want to go for a double or a single dial on the handlebars there.
Or we can just hardtail it.
Or that. So there you go, that's it for this episode of Motors for the Masses in the Bob build. We are back in the next episode with the Mondial, and we shall be spraying that. So for all of you that made suggestions on the colour, one of you got it right. Just one. There's a clue if you want to have a little read. But one person will get a mug, the others won't. Unless of course you get it right between now and then.
Is there not a previous video where it was mentioned?
Shut up.
It's good, it's alright.
Okay, so do what he said, or just keep guessing. However, the colour will be revealed in the next episode and we'll be spraying that. We'll also be back with an outtakes video for Christmas, and then we'll be back in the new year with some other stuff. We've got the Mach 1 coming, we've got his Cortina coming, which is irrelevant. Because it is.
Okay, it's irrelevant.
It is, because my Mach 1 is far superior in power, looks and everything else. Unless of course you like Cortinas, then it isn't.
Fair point.
So, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you again to our patrons for joining us and contributing and making all this stuff happen. Thank you. We've also got another mic pack on order, so that'll be arriving soon, so hopefully all will be fixed in the mic department.
Yes, turned out to be the receiver. Not
It
the
did,
transmitter.
yeah. So until next time, please ride and drive carefully.
But have fun.
Bye-bye.
And subscribe and click the bell.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.